has announced that they want to make another Avatar game. Let's talk a little bit about what would need to go into an Avatar game in order to make it good. Because Ubisoft's first attempt at an Avatar game back in 2009, when that movie came out, was not the greatest. But 9 years have passed, they're ready to take it on, and what could Ubisoft do differently to ensure that this game actually succeeds? One thing they need to do is take a look at some of the other popular video games based off of licensed material. What makes the Arkham games so great? What makes Shadow of Mordor so great? Why did Alien Isolation appeal to so many people? They need to go back to that drawing board and figure out many different things that they can do. Avatar, in a very different way, would have to go about doing things much differently than the 2009 game did. One of the biggest things that they tried to do is they tried to make it so you had to basically choose whether or not you wanted to be a human or whether or not you wanted to be a Na'vi. The idea sounded great on paper, but it wasn't executed very well. And this caused for a game that just wasn't great. Let's talk about why I don't think being a human in Avatar would be a very good idea. One, if you were to make them a human, it would just follow too many cliches, whether it be first person or third person, and it would cause a generic shooter. There really wouldn't be any involvement with much going on. If they were to turn around and put you in a Na'vi, they could do so much more with it. One of the big things Avatar teaches us is how they're able to feel the environment, sense what's going on, use the environment to their advantage. This could make for some interesting gameplay mechanics, especially if they were to incorporate stealth mechanics into it. Because we often don't really see it too much in Avatar, but it is there, where the Na'vi kind of know their environment. That gives them the upper hand of humans. They can hide up in trees, they can hide in leaves, they're graceful on their feet, they can move around quietly. All this could play into the gameplay and make something exceptional. They could also find ways to connect, maybe, ways connecting with the environment, where your character maybe connects with different animals or is able to connect with an animal and fly his own Ikran. That would be really, really cool. To be able to also ride your own horse, things like that. And this brings me to my other point. If they do this, it has to be a sandbox game. It has to be open world. And it has to have an emphasis on exploration. There's just no other way around this. Avatar has perhaps one of the most beautifully cinematic worlds ever created. Breathtaking visuals that light up at night and make it stunning to look at. The video game would have to cycle between a day and night cycle and give the player the opportunity to explore Pandora both during the day and especially during the night. Because exploring it during the night would be a lot of where its gameplay would shine. Where would they take the story now? That's a good question. Avatar does have quite a bit they could draw from if they really wanted to. They could go back and tell a story fighting between humans and the Na'vi and use that to their advantage. Maybe an earlier skirmish that happened on before the Avatar film, a new human threat came to Pandora and tried to take over. They could even return to something pre-human and do that as well. We know that Turok Makto was summoned during a time where the clans were divided, according to the movie, and the person who was able to connect with him was able to unite the clans as a whole. We could go back and tell the story of this fight happening between tribes and focus on that. one thing we have to take a look at and realize is that Avatar's story is not going to be great. The story in the movie wasn't supposed to be groundbreaking. It was supposed to be thought-provoking, and it does very well at doing that. But Avatar really hits home through its emotional connection as you feel connected to the Na'vi, watch their homeland be destroyed. Its cinematics and its visuals are what made the movie so appealing. So its gameplay, its characters, and its visuals would have to be what propelled this game forward. And I feel like if Ubisoft takes references from Assassin's Creed, you know, that being the open world game that it is, and they incorporate some of what they've learned over the years through Assassin's Creed, I think they could do something really great with it. I think applying certain stealth mechanics they've learned from Assassin's Creed with mixing it up into the environment and using your environment to your ability, incorporating some elements and kind of taking a look at games such as Shadow of Mordor and Batman and incorporating that and finding their own style in combat, I think they could really succeed. Another thing that does kind of concern me about this game is it is being made by the same people who made The Division. Now, The Division wasn't a horrible game. It wasn't the amazing title that a lot of people thought it was going to be. It was another Destiny clone with a lot of fun. A lot of people sunk some hours into it. I myself enjoyed playing it with my friends. But it kind of started to wear thin. If Avatar really wants to stand out, they need to focus on a single-player narrative. Now, I'm not saying they can't put multiplayer in there. I just think the game would benefit from having that single player. And I think that's what Ubisoft needs to focus on. They need to kind of step away from having this whole online community and kind of turning it into an MMO. I think that in a way would kind of destroy the franchise and wouldn't make it very, very intriguing. There's definitely ways they could incorporate this in there, multiplayer if they wanted to. The Last of Us is always something that comes to mind, that developers can simply use a system much like that to try and incorporate multiplayer into, your character building through the multiplayer, picking your factions, things like that. That's something that they could definitely take a look at. But if we're wanting to get real here, Avatar needs to be a single player experience. That's what I think. I don't think it would work too well as a multiplayer. This news excites me. I think Avatar has a world that is set up and built to be featured in a video game. I think the concepts, the world, the ways that they could use the environment, like I said, would all work perfectly into creating a wonderful video game experience. Only time's going to tell what Ubisoft has planned. E3 is coming up. Maybe we'll hear more about this. Maybe it's going to be a couple years and they're going to wait to release it when the new Avatar movies come out, if they actually come out. Time's going to tell, but I'm excited to see what Ubisoft can do. Especially if they go back to the drawing board and really try to make something unique to that world. I think creating this world in Pandora would be amazing. Your thoughts, your opinions, leave those down in the comment box. Let me know what you guys want to see in an Avatar game. Let me know if you guys are remotely excited for this to happen. And let me know if you think Pandora would make a good setting for a video game world. I personally would get enthralled in exploring Pandora. If the game actually ended up turning out really, really well, they focused heavily on exploration, I can tell you I would probably eat up every little bit of side quest, every little bit of hunt, every little bit of collecting that they put in that game, just so I could witness its world. Because Avatar's world is that beautiful. those are my thoughts and my opinions. Like I said, yours below, let me know. You guys have been watching the Spoony Bard. Go down to the description, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and keep up to date with what's going on with my channel on those. Also, I upload a video every Friday. This one's late because I didn't get around to recording it today. Friday had a lot going on, so it is a day late. But every Friday I am going to be posting a new video. So, like I said, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter and hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with new content. You guys are watching the Spoony Bard, and most importantly, stay happy, be happy, game happy. The Spoony Bard is checking out.